Pa Sherpa, born on December 14, 1960, in Thame, a small Sherpa village located in the Khumbu region of Nepal, is one of the most iconic mountaineers in history. His childhood in the Khumbu region, surrounded by the towering peaks of the Himalayas, laid the foundation for his future career as a world-renowned mountaineer. Pa Sherpa was born into a family of farmers, and as a child, he spent much of his time helping his family cultivate their land. His family was not wealthy, and like many other Sherpas, Appa's life was shaped by the harsh realities of living in the remote mountain villages of Nepal. Sherpas, the indigenous people of the region, have a long-standing reputation for their extraordinary mountaineering abilities, particularly when it comes to high-altitude climbing. From a young age, Pa Sherpa was captivated by the majestic Everest and the stories of mountaineers who sought to conquer it. His childhood was marked by a deep connection to the mountains, which would later define his destiny. Appa's interest in mountaineering was sparked when he started working as a porter in the 1970s at the age of 12. His work as a porter involved carrying heavy loads for foreign climbers and mountaineers attempting to summit the peaks of the Himalayas. This work exposed him to the challenges and risks of mountaineering, but also helped him build his physical strength and develop an intimate understanding of the mountains. The job, though difficult, was a stepping stone for Pa, offering him his first experiences with high-altitude expeditions. In 1980, Pa Sherpa had the opportunity to become a climbing Sherpa, accompanying mountaineers on their expeditions. At the age of 20, he was selected to assist on an expedition to Mount Everest. This marked the beginning of his professional mountaineering career. Appa's early days in mountaineering were marked by the daunting task of supporting foreign climbers, but they also served as training grounds, preparing him for the future challenge of summiting Everest himself. Career peak, first summits and record-breaking climbs. Pa Sherpa's career really began to take off in 1990 when he was part of an expedition to summit Mount Everest. As a climbing Sherpa, he was part of the support team, helping foreign climbers reach the summit. This expedition was a crucial step in Appa's evolution as a mountaineer. He quickly gained a reputation for his calm demeanor, reliability, and exceptional skill at high altitudes. In 1990, Pa Sherpa reached the summit of Mount Everest for the first time, but this was just the beginning of his legendary career. Over the next 2 decades, he went on to summit Everest a total of 21 times, a record that remains unrivaled in the world of mountaineering. Pa Sherpa's consistent success in summiting Everest earned him the title of the King of Everest among the mountaineering community. His achievements were not just about reaching the summit. They were about the way he did so, always with grace, humility, and a deep respect for the mountain. Pa Sherpa's success as a climber was built on his intimate knowledge of the mountain and its challenges. Unlike many foreign climbers, who often relied on technical tools and advanced equipment, Pa Sherpa used traditional methods, relying on his own experience and physical strength to navigate the harsh conditions. This unique approach to mountaineering set him apart from other climbers and cemented his status as one of the greatest Sherpas in history. Appa's summits were not limited to just the main climbing route. He was involved in numerous high-altitude rescues, guiding climbers through some of the most treacherous sections of Everest. His knowledge of the mountain was unparalleled, and his skill in navigating its technical and dangerous terrain made him an invaluable asset to any expedition. Throughout his career, Pa Sherpa became known not just as a climber, but as a guardian of the mountain, ensuring the safety and success of climbers while maintaining a profound reverence for the sacredness of Everest. In 2001, Pa Sherpa was featured in a National Geographic documentary, which further elevated his status as one of the leading figures in the mountaineering world. The documentary focused on his 15th summit of Mount Everest, and the exposure helped bring attention to the Sherpa community, highlighting their crucial role in the success of expeditions to the world's highest peak. Main achievements, world records, and contributions to mountaineering. Pa Sherpa's most significant achievement came in 2004, when he set a world record by summiting Mount Everest for the 12th time. This achievement was a milestone, not just for Apa, but for the entire mountaineering community, as it solidified his reputation as the most successful climber of Everest. The record-breaking feat drew international attention to the Sherpa community and brought recognition to their invaluable contributions to high-altitude climbing. Apa continued to break his own records, summiting Everest a total of 21 times, a number that still stands today. His final summit was in 2011, a symbolic end to his career as a professional mountaineer. In total, Apa spent over 2 decades at the summit of Everest, summiting more times than any other person in history. Apart from his personal achievements, Apa Sherpa made significant contributions to the mountaineering community. He used his success as a platform to raise awareness about the challenges faced by the Sherpa people, who often work in the background of high-altitude expeditions. He advocated for better working conditions for Sherpas, including better compensation, safety measures, and recognition for their vital contributions to climbing expeditions. Apa also dedicated himself to philanthropic efforts aimed at improving the lives of his fellow Sherpas. In 1998, he founded the Apa Sherpa Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting education and healthcare in the Khumbu region of Nepal. The foundation's work has been instrumental in improving the living conditions of Sherpa families, providing scholarships for young students, building schools, and supporting healthcare initiatives. Apa's legacy in mountaineering is also marked by his role in promoting environmental sustainability on Mount Everest. As a Sherpa, he witnessed firsthand the environmental damage caused by the increasing number of climbers attempting to summit the peak. Over the years, he became an outspoken advocate for the preservation of the environment, calling for stricter regulations on waste management and urging climbers to respect the sacredness of the mountain. Challenges and setbacks. Despite his success, Apa Sherpa's career was not without its challenges. The risks of high-altitude climbing are immense, and Apa faced several near-death experiences throughout his career. In 1996, he was part of the ill-fated expedition that was caught in a deadly storm on Everest, which led to the deaths of several climbers. The storm was one of the most tragic events in mountaineering history and was famously depicted in Jon Krakauer's book Into Thin Air. Despite the harrowing experience, Apa Sherpa survived and continued his mountaineering career, determined to make a difference in the world. Another major setback came in 2008, when Apa faced a personal tragedy. His father passed away while he was on an expedition. His father's death weighed heavily on Apa's heart, but he remained focused on his career and the responsibilities he had toward his family and community. Despite the emotional burden, Apa continued to summit Everest, driven by a deep respect for the mountain and a commitment to supporting his family and community back home in Nepal. As the years passed, Apa began to scale back his involvement in high-altitude expeditions. The physical toll of climbing Mount Everest so many times began to take its toll on his body, and he began to consider life beyond mountaineering. In 2011, after his 21st summit, Apa Sherpa officially retired from climbing Everest, having reached the pinnacle of mountaineering success. However, he continued to be active in the mountaineering community, using his influence to advocate for the Sherpa people and for the preservation of Everest. Final years and legacy. After retiring from his mountaineering career, Apa Sherpa turned his attention to philanthropy and education. He focused on the work of the Apa Sherpa Foundation, which he founded to improve the lives of Sherpa families. The foundation has made significant strides in improving access to education and healthcare for children and families in the Everest region. Through his charitable work, Apa has ensured that his legacy extends far beyond the peaks of Everest. Apa Sherpa's contributions to mountaineering and his community have earned him numerous accolades and recognition. He was named National Geographic Adventurer of the Year in 2011 and has been featured in numerous documentaries and interviews. His legacy as one of the greatest mountaineers in history is secure, and his work continues to inspire generations of climbers, especially those from Nepal, to pursue their dreams and give back to their communities. Apa's legacy as the King of Everest is not just defined by his record-breaking climbs, but by his enduring commitment to the welfare of the Sherpa people, the environment, and the future of mountaineering. His extraordinary achievements on Everest have left an indelible mark on the sport, and his dedication to making a positive impact on the world will continue to inspire mountaineers for generations to come. Achievements at a glance. Number of Everest summits, 21. World records, most summits of Mount Everest by a person 21 times. National Geographic Adventurer of the Year, 2011. Sherpa Foundation, founder and philanthropist supporting education and healthcare in the Everest region. Advocacy, safety improvements for Sherpas, environmental sustainability on Mount Everest. Conclusion. Sherpa's life is a testament to the power of perseverance, humility, and a deep respect for the mountains. From his modest beginnings in the mountains of Nepal to becoming one of the most celebrated mountaineers in history, Appa's journey is one of determination, sacrifice, and a passion for helping others. His legacy as the king of Everest is cemented not just by his record-breaking climbs, but by the lasting impact he has had on his community, the mountaineering world, and the future of the Sherpa people.